Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And, time for a little programming announcement since we did this at the beginning of the show, but I was off. We were off last Thursday and Friday because after the show Wednesday, I hadn't been feeling well for about a week to 10 days from picnic on, actually. So that's like going back 2.5 weeks. And I just thought I was worn out. I was doing a lot. We had friends in town, did the Red Line doubleheader, picnic, 95 degrees. Just thought I was a little run down, getting up at 3 in the morning. And turns out I go to the doctor, they do an x-ray, and I have pneumonia. Just seems so weird.
I don't know what you're waiting for.
Yeah.
Of all people, it happened to you. Who would have thought?
How could I get pneumonia?
Yeah, me, Brian Haddad. How could I get pneumonia?
Come on.
If you remember, Brian, we saw each other on Wednesday, and you're like a machine. You're kind of the same guy every day. You're programmed to be one certain way, which I love. It's great. I can depend on you. But I kind of gave you a pep talk like, hey, man, you just haven't been yourself lately. Like, if you need to talk about anything, talk to me. It's all good.
When did you have that conversation with him?
In the car.
Which day?
Wednesday.
On Wednesday?
On Wednesday.
I give Case a ride home every day because we live near each other. And
I know.
And sometimes I thought he was just like, boy, he's really reaching for conversation in this car ride. Because he's being very emotional, saying, like, if there's something wrong with you, man, let me know.
I have a question.
Yeah.
What did he do that made you think something was going on, like, really bad in his life? I just heard him cough a lot. I wasn't like, God, his marriage must be in the toilet. He's coughing. I mean, what happened on Wednesday where you're like, uh-oh, something's wrong?
I think away from the show, Brian wasn't being Brian to me, yeah. Wasn't being the and not that he was being like a bad person. You just weren't being the energetic self that you normally are.
I'm used to him hitting me. It's like for me, I'm like, well, he's just right on par with how he normally acts.
I'll use the phrase that Case used to me in the car because I remember it now. Quote, you don't have that pep in your step as you usually do.
That's right.
Because I usually do walk in guns blazing. I'm loud. I have a lot of small talk. I kick the door open. I go, let's go.
I get here at 4:30. Brian's ready to do a show with me then. And it hadn't been the case for the last week and a half, and I was getting very worried.
Yeah.
So, listen, if you're not feeling well, go to the doctor. You might have pneumonia like me. I've never had it before. It was
I thought
weird.
you were a little sleepy. I was like, you'll be fine.
Definitely fatigued and coughing, but, I'm here. I still kind of have it, I guess, but it's not contagious or anything. It's all fine.
No, your energy's much better.
Yeah.
I mean, just being around you all day today, you look like $1 million. You've lost a bunch of weight.
I lost 10 pounds.
Good for you.
God, I want to get pneumonia so bad. Cough on me, spit in my mouth.
Come over here. I mean, I still might be a little contagious.
That's what I'm talking about. What do we have to do to make this happen?
Well, the funny thing when you get pneumonia, so like everybody all of a sudden this sympathy wave came about. And I didn't even know this. Apparently our boss sent an email out to the staff saying I have pneumonia because I started getting texts from the big guys and the big salespeople on Wednesday night. And I just found out Wednesday night. So I was like, how do they know I have pneumonia already? And I wasn't on the email that told everybody that I had pneumonia.
Me either. You think they tell me?
Oh, you weren't on that either?
No.
Oh.
I get left off of everything. It's unbelievable.
It's funny. You guys weren't on the email, but Lauren was. It did not affect Lauren at all.
Oh.
But
I'm
Lauren's
here.
on the email.
Wow.
Hey, if anybody's going to be affected by your pneumonia, it's me. And I want to get it.
Yeah.
And I can't. I can't get my hands on that.
Brian, make that noise one more time.
Do it closer. Do it closer to me.
If anybody wants to lose some weight, forget about Ozempic. Come over here and give me a big kiss.
That's what I'm talking about.
10 pounds, man, in like 4 days.
I want to punch you in the face. It took me 2 months to lose. I'm so angry.
I didn't know people still got pneumonia. I thought it was like an old-timey disease that people didn't really get anymore.
That's the first thing Kenzie the Case said to me was, I didn't think people got pneumonia anymore.
And I'm
That
seeing,
doesn't even make sense. It's not leprosy.
but that's kind of what I thought it was. Like, I don't know if you're behind on your vaccinations or what the deal is. I just didn't think people under the age of 95 got pneumonia.
I will say I'm up to date on all my vaxes.
Good.
I'm good.
Can you get a vaccine for pneumonia?
You can't.
Yeah,
But,
you get one for whooping cough.
Yeah.
Now that's an old ass disease right there. You know, because who would call it whooping? They just call it bad cough now.
Did they whoop you when you coughed so you wouldn't shut up?
That cough's giving your butt a whooping.
God, you're coughing all the time, Fred.
You're just whooping it up. You can tell it's an old one.
Oh. I don't. All those vaccines you get, like bubonic plague. I think you get one for maybe. I don't know.
Is that the same as the black plague, or is that separate?
That's
is
a different
bubonic
one.
and black different?
I think they're way different.
What a time! Imagine getting sick with something called the bubonic or the black plague.
I gotta admit.
Now we're so weak now. We're like, you get the flu. Like that sounds like nothing.
Yeah, but like Kay said, when they came out and back and said I have pneumonia, I was like, what? Pneumonia?
You thought it was an STD. Like, how am I going to explain this to my wife? Run it again.
Actually, it's funny you said that because I was I'm taking a couple different antibiotics, and I just looked them up. I like to see what I'm taking.
Oh, yeah.
And one of them said it's good for like pneumonia, heavy flu, COVID, and gonorrhea.
So you can really party right now. No one's going to know. Now's the time. Go to Blackjack.
I was going to say, you're going to go to town tonight, the nightclub, and just let loose.
I said to Megan, I said, hey, I'm free and clear of that gonorrhea you've been talking about all left and right. Going to finally get rid of this.
Amen.
Oh, but the interesting thing is when you get pneumonia, at least I discovered, I never had it, maybe people have listening, is that first off, everybody says, why aren't you in the hospital? They think you should be in the hospital if you have pneumonia. And secondly, like my brother Steve starts texting me, you know how many people died of pneumonia? He starts going to this historical perspective. Stonewall Jackson died of pneumonia.
Why does he know that off the top of his head?
He's a history buff. He was a Confederate general. And so I get this
That
big
sounds like a wrestler to me.
Stonewall Jackson.
I thought it was, who is that?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
He was on the AEW pay-per-view last night.
Oh, God.
That's how he has a tagline for sure.
Well, his tagline was "The South will rise again."
Yeah,
See,
pretty much.
he still sounds like a wrestler. You tell me Stonewall Jackson, the South finna rise again, isn't a wrestler.
I'll never think of
He
Stone
died of
Cold Steve
pneumonia?
Austin. Yeah, he died of pneumonia.
The wrestler?
No, he's Stone Cold Steve Austin is still alive. Do not start that today.
Okay, I'm very confused.
I looked up Stonewall Jackson. He did die of pneumonia, but he got shot first.
Well, that doesn't count. They do that with some COVID people, too. I don't think so. Not up in here.
Well, let's go. There's some other people.
You have a whole list of people that have died from pneumonia?
Famous people that have died of pneumonia. You may not be aware of this guy's name, but it was George Allen, a football coach. I mentioned him because he was a coach for the Bears back in the day. And also, if you go way back, he coached the Chicago Blitz, the USFL team, in 1983.
Oh, I have a Chicago Blitz hat.
Do you really?
I do. I'll wear it tomorrow.
You should wear it in his honor because in 1990, now he was 72. I'm not saying you should live longer than 72, okay? But he had a Gatorade bath after a victory, and he caught pneumonia and he died.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awful.
That's terrible.
What did that happen to you?
Oh, man, that's
I'm not
horrible.
pushing the buttons. I've said that before. I'm not doing it.
If you come in with those big vat of Gatorade, I'm going to watch out.
I'm gonna keep your dead body and work it like a puppet. I'm not pushing the buttons. You're gonna be in here.
Well, speaking of puppets, Jim Henson, the creator of the Muppets, died of pneumonia.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Who else?
There's a long list here of weird people that have died of pneumonia. Not weird, but just an interesting
why are
list
you
of people.
just like insulting them?
I'm not. Like Charles Bronson, great actor, tough guy actor from Death Wish movies. He died of pneumonia. James Brown died of pneumonia, technically. Now, yeah, in 73, he was 73 years old, the godfather of soul, and he died of a, quote, severe pneumonia. Are you looking at people that died of pneumonia, too?
Well, somebody's asking, why would you want to get pneumonia when you have 2 kids at the house you take care of? And I go, but then I could lock myself in a room.
Let's
be
get
like,
some peace and quiet.
Roman, this one's on you. The kids can't get pneumonia. There's no downside to me getting pneumonia if you think about it.
I'll tell you, Megan's a care of Harper every day. I got to sleep in every day.
That's what I'm saying.
So it is pretty amazing.
I bet you're milking the pneumonia.
Oh, you know who also died of pneumonia? Arlie Ermy from...
Who is that?
He was Full Metal Jacket, the sergeant in Full Metal Jacket, and he also had
A wrestling show?
No, but he had an incredible reality show. I'm trying to remember what it was. Lock and Load with Arlie Ermy on the Outdoor Channel. He was the...
On the Outdoor Channel?
Yeah. And I'm sorry. And also he had
It's
mail...
called Lock and Load. It's obviously about guns.
He had Mail Call on the History Channel, too. That was it. You know this guy. His voice, he was used in cartoons.
Arlie?
R. Lee Ermy. So that's R. Lee
Oh,
Ermy.
I thought it was Arlie Ermy. I thought that was his name, Arlie Ermy.
He might swear here. I don't know if I should play this, but from Full Metal Jacket.
Oh, you're going to raw dog it, huh?
I'm going to raw dog it.
Gunnery Sergeant Hartman, your senior drill instructor. From now on, you will speak only when spoken to.
That guy. I don't want to go anymore because he does swear a little bit.
Well, I don't want to do spoilers. I haven't seen Full Metal Jacket either.
I haven't seen it. I don't know what it is. I thought it was like a band or something.
I thought it was like Devil Wears Prada, like it was a fashion movie.
What is it
Who
called?
am I working with here? Who am I? Okay.
What's the movie about?
When Case watches Full Metal Jacket, you have to watch it too. I'm making that rule.
Well, only if I get pneumonia. Only if you promise to give me pneumonia.
It's a very, very rough war movie about Vietnam.
Well, that doesn't sound fun.
Well, it's not fun at all.
Now I don't want to watch it.
You get Arlie Ermy in
The
there.
last words out of your filthy sewers will be served.
Okay, he was incredible. He died
I
of
can't
pneumonia.
take that. I can't get yelled at by somebody.
He died of. You know who died of pneumonia was Corey Haim. Do you remember Corey Feldman, who's playing with Limp Bizkit in Tinley Park?
Yeah.
The two Coreys had a reality show that was amazing. They were 80s. They were in The Lost Boys. You ever seen that movie? Anybody?
Yes, I've seen The Lost Boys. Love The Lost Boys.
Okay, they were both in that. Also, License to Drive, a great movie.
Okay.
And sadly, Corey Haim died young in his 30s of pneumonia.
That could have been you.
Realize that.
Yeah,
That could have been you, Brian.
that's very sad.
I know.
Yep.
What's up with your pneumonia? Why isn't it doing the job of pneumonia like everyone else is?
Because I have Wolverine blood and I'm regenerating and I'm awesome.
Okay. Did they tell you that at the doctor?
They actually did. They said it's amazing your lungs are so clear. I mean, at least listening to my lungs were clear. The X-ray showed, sadly, the pneumonia I have in there.
Oh, wow.
And Chicago comedian Bernie Mac from Ocean's 11. We talked about that last week.
I love Bernie Mac.
Yeah, he died of pneumonia.
Oh.
Yeah, see?
Wow. It's taking down some real ones.
Absolutely.
So here's my question to you, Brian.
Yeah.
This list of people that have died of pneumonia, is this a Wikipedia page?
Yes.
Okay. Do you think if you died of pneumonia, you'd make the Wikipedia page?
I don't know. This is a long list.
This is a tough list. Bernie Mac was a big star.
Also, Brittany
You'd
Murphy.
be really low. It'd be the last name. They wouldn't put you in alphabetical order,
These aren't in alphabetical. I think I'd make the list. I just don't know. I don't know. Maybe someone would
Is there a
remove it.
secondary list? Like, is it like important people? And then, like, another, how Wikipedia breaks it up by titles? And then there's, like, less important people who've died from pneumonia?
All I put in were famous people that died of pneumonia, and here's where I'm at. Brittany Murphy from 8 Mile. Technically, she died of pneumonia.
Really?
Yeah. And she was very young.
I
She was
could
32.
edit the Wikipedia page and put you on there.
If you could do that, that'd be wonderful.
Because it's, it's people-driven.
It
I
is.
could add you.
You know what? Mr. Rogers died of pneumonia.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Now Mr. Rogers.
Now, I understand how powerful this is. This
This
pneumonia
is,
I'm beating
Brian,
off.
I'm glad you're alive. Wait, what are you doing to pneumonia?
You're beating it off.
I'm beating off the pneumonia.
You're beating off.
What?
I'm hot too. Spitting on that pneumonia.
Your own.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101 talking about miraculous survival of pneumonia. 619 checked in and said, when is the Brian Haddad cure for pneumonia 5K? When are we doing that?
Jeez.
I'm working on that, sir, very easily. And this reminds
What's
us,
your passion project now because of what you've been through?
I have a lot to tell. I have a story to tell. Much like in The Office, where Michael had the fun run race for the cure for rabies. Remember that?
Of course.
A woman shouldn't have to be hit by a car to learn that she may have rabies. But that is where we are in America. And that does not sit right with me. And that is why I am hosting a fun run race for the cure for rabies to raise awareness of the fact that there is a cure for rabies, a disease that has been largely eradicated in the U.S. But not very many people know that.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
Brian and Kenzie on Q101. And you listen, I actually love going to the grocery store when I'm hungry because I always come back with Oreos. It's a great thing. And so sometimes Megan will send me because she does a lot of the cooking and she'll go get this, this, and this. And I'll have to say, well, wait a minute. What is that? Because what do you mean, what is that? You're a grown-ass man. You don't know what that is? You didn't shop at the store? I go, I don't know exactly what you're talking about. Well, for me, it's a big problem with broths. Like bone broth, and then there's beef, and chicken broth.
Yep.
There's all
That's
different.
a lot to wrap your head around.
There's like 15 different kinds of broths, and then I have to text her, and I'm like, and I take a picture of it and go,
Yes,
is this what you want
one?
exactly?
Yeah.
And then they're by the soup, and you're like, well, am I getting soup or am I getting broth? I've had this conversation before.
Oh, yeah. Can I drink this broth in like soup?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Wow.
It's impossible.
So do you understand more now what your husband went through over the weekend, Kenzie, or no?
I can't even deal. So this is not the first time I sent my husband to run an errand, and it's a thing. Because I asked him to get a shallot like a week ago.
Wait a minute.
Exactly.
Wait,
and he's like,
before
I don't
you,
know. Like,
before you continue, I don't know what a shallot is.
it's like a kind of onion.
Did you know that, Case? Oh, he's on the phone already.
Oh my God, there's men already upset. So like a shallot's a kind of onion. He went up to an employee, said, "Do you know what a shallot is?" The problem, he went up to another guy, and the guy's like, "I don't know." So the employee was Googling what shallots are of the grocery store. So whatever, that's a whole other thing.
Why do you need a shallot?
Like, it's just different recipes. So it's like in a pasta, like different onions produce different types of flavors. So it's going to go better with certain pastas. That's it.
All right.
So it's not that complex. So anyway, we were out of olive oil. So I asked him to go to Costco because they have the better deal. They have the really big ones. I go, I want you to go to Costco and get us olive oil. Then we won't need it for like a year because it comes in the double jug, right?
And it lasts a long time.
Yes. So he comes home and he has a lot of bags. So I'm like, what's going on? He bought Girl Scout coconut caramel bites. Bubby's like mochi triple chocolate ice cream bites.
I've had those.
And crumble cereal. So he came up with that. And I'm like, okay, where's my stuff? He goes, right here. He got extra virgin olive oil. And
That's olive oil.
I'm like, we have tons of extra virgin olive oil at the house. We don't need this. We need olive oil. And he goes, you're telling me there's more than one type of olive oil? I go, yes. Hence why I didn't say I need extra virgin. I just said the words olive oil.
Well, wait a minute.
What?
Extra virgin olive oil is olive oil.
It's a kind.
I
It's
never
not-
heard of olive oil that's not extra virgin. Because I like
You're
my, I
such
like,
a liar. You
I
like
like
the
my
extra
olive oil
virgins?
extra virgin.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. So I've had it that way. You know, some whore cooking your food.
I don't want the whore olive oil.
Yeah, it's disgusting. It ran through olive oil. Here's the deal. Extra virgin olive oil is really good, and it's a supplement. It's not like, oh no, now I can't make it. But for certain things, like extra virgin olive oil, it's like cold pressed. That's how they make it. It's made differently. It has a much stronger flavor. Like you can taste extra virgin olive oil.
Yeah.
And it also like it burns, so you can't cook it at certain temperatures. It burns easier.
Okay.
So olive oil is like doesn't really have flavor. Okay, so that's for baking. You don't want extra virgin olive oil like that flavor in like a cookie, right? So you use olive oil for baking.
Got it.
Also, it can cook at higher temperatures. Or if you just don't want the flavor of extra virgin olive oil in something, it doesn't always match what you're doing. Like it goes so good with like Mediterranean food and Middle Eastern, but it doesn't go good with everything because it does alter the flavor. So we already have extra virgin olive oil, so it's not like, well, you could have just used it. I know, I've been supplementing with extra virgin all week, but I sent it there because we're out of olive oil. I'm like, well, I can't bake. I really wanted to do some Parmesan crusted chicken, and the extra virgin olive oil is going to burn, and the thing, it's not going to keep a good coating on it.
Well, can I ask a question?
Yes.
Did you specifically say to him before he left, so I'm not looking for extra virgin olive oil, I want olive oil?
But that's not necessary because it said olive
Yeah,
oil.
it is.
And well, listen,
Yes,
look at
it
me
is.
in the face.
I'm looking.
One says olive oil, and I said I want olive oil. And the other
Correct.
says extra virgin olive oil. So when looking at the two choices, one was verbatim what I said, and one had extra words.
Right, but
That I did not say.
I've never heard of olive oil that wasn't
Oh,
extra
no.
virgin. I mean that. I mean, I've always gone, because I get the same one. I get the Kirkland olive, organic extra virgin olive oil, because it's really good on my salads.
I was so sad. But the thing is, he's bought it before, so he knows what it looks like. So because it came in one, like the extra virgin's just the single jug. It's a double jug, baby. And when you buy the olive oil at Costco. So I'm like, didn't this just in general not look at all like what you purchased previously?
I'll also say that the extra virgin olive oil, I think it's a little cheaper.
No, extra virgins maybe at Costco because it's a single bottle and not the double pack. But extra virgin in general is more expensive. It's a higher grade. It's like nicer, but it has a flavor and stuff that you can't use it in everything.
Case, did you know there was a difference between olive oil and extra virgin olive oil?
No.
Do you know there's even olive oil? You know what that is? Let's start there first.
You're such an a-hole.
Let's start there. Have you ever bought olive oil?
I've bought olive oil. Now, I use avocado oil
Oh.
because I'm,
Mr.
fitness king.
Mr. Fancy over here.
I've had a good year.
By the way, Costco has that avocado oil spray, which I use on our cast iron when I'm making
that's
steaks.
what I like.
Yeah, it's good.
But I thought olive oil was built in as extra virgin. I thought it came that way.
Yeah.
Nope.
What is the virginity part of it?
It's just so what happens is
A
olive
man and a
oil.
woman.
No, is that how it works here?
Two olives meet in the wilderness.
So basically, the way extra virgin olive oil is created is it's not chemically altered. Like the olives are cold pressed, and olive oil is created with a lot of heat, and it is chemically altered. So extra virgin olive oil is also healthy for you. It is, but again, a different flavor. It can't handle certain temperatures. It is the more natural version of the two, I guess. So it's a virgin to chemical treatments and heat, I suppose.
Got it.
Cherry hasn't been popped when it comes to, to all the treatments.
Oh, man. Well, like I said, I have no idea. You got to be very specific if you're going to the store and get it. It's reminding us of the scene in The Breakup when she says go to the store and get some lemons.
Oh, God.
Remember that scene with Vince Vaughn and Jennifer Aniston? And when he comes back, he only has 3. Well, here's that scene.
You got 3 lemons.
What my baby wants, my baby gets. You know that.
No, but I wanted 12. Baby wanted 12.
Why would you want 12 lemons?
Because I'm making a 12 lemon centerpiece.
So no one's actually even eating them? They're show lemons?
They're just show lemons, shown in the center of the table. I'm glad you find that amusing, but I cannot fill a vase with only 3 lemons.
Well, can't you just use, like, maybe a drinking glass?
Use a
You can
drinking.
have a smaller version of a centerpiece.
I'm not gonna use a drinking glass for our centerpiece.
You know what? I got an idea. Why don't we go ahead and scratch the centerpiece idea altogether? Because the chicken that burnt my mouth could maybe use a little bit of lemon on top of it. Guess what? Now we made a better meal versus something visually nice to look at.
The Brian and Kenzie Show.
On Q101.
It's Brian and Kenzie on Q101. I'm glad this show exists at a place where we can have an open discussion about extra virgin olive oil and then the other kind of the horror olive oil out there.
The ran through olive oil. The Stormy Daniels of olive oil.
The olive oil just says yes.
Yeah.
Regular olive oil.
Never said no, baby.
A lot of recipes coming in, a lot of conversation about its uses here on the text line after our conversation there where Kenzie's husband bought the wrong kind of olive oil at the grocery store instead of, well, he just bought extra virgin olive oil, which again, myself and Case both thought that was just olive oil. I didn't know.
I thought it was just a fancy name for it.
Yeah.
Well, it's next to the one that just says olive oil.
But it's like, we call Elton John, but his name is Sir Elton John. I kind of thought it was like that.
Okay, but if someone said, pull that Elton John, would you be like, I'm going to type in Sir?
Oh, yeah, because it's his name.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Give me the Sir Elton John.
On the double.
He tastes better.
He does.
You know where you don't have to worry about olive oil? Because the whole trip is taken care of you perfectly by Brian and Kenzie and Q101, is our London trip. You don't got to worry about, which one am I going to
Well, you
buy?
should not be cooking. You're on vacation.
Yeah, the food's all taken care of. And here's the main thing. You go right now to Q101.com/London for all the information on this trip. Now, it is filling up, and we're so happy about that. We appreciate everybody that's joining us on this trip to go see the Bears in London October 14th, because it may never happen again. The Bears have been selected. They're playing the Jags at Tottenham Stadium, and then we're also going to be there. Obviously, flights and a cool way to get there. Sure, all that stuff you can work on your own, but not like this, and not what this trip has for you, which is, well, Kenzie loves talking about this, the accoutrement, the accessories of this trip, besides seeing an incredible Bears game, a great place to stay, and your flights and all that.
Okay, so here's the deal. I am the travel booker. Every family's got one, okay? And that's me. Bless you, Brian.
Sorry.
Don't worry. Bless you,
Pneumonia,
child.
Pneumonia's acting up. Hold on.
Bless you, child.
It'll be gone by October.
It's gonna sneeze on your face. You better not be walking with us in London on the walking tour. So, what's awesome? You buy this trip, you get to trust who you're traveling with, which is awesome. Because normally you book like an overseas trip and everything, and you don't know who's going to be at the excursions and stuff. So you know you're going to enjoy the company. At least you probably like Brian or I, even if it's just one of us. So it'll be fine. You'll have a good time. So we fly out Wednesday. Thursday is the walking tour. We're going to be going to the London Eye, the Tower of London, those hot spots that you definitely want to see that are on your checklist. It's going to be like an all-day experience. It's going to be amazing. Then between Friday and Saturday, we have a food tour and a pub crawl separately. So obviously, iconic pubs throughout London, getting to drink at those, see all of them. That is going to be a blast. And it's already covered. Like, that's in the cost of the trip. So your drinking all night is already taken care of. Hello.
Nice.
And then we have that curated food tour, which I know London isn't known for the food. You go to Italy and stuff like that, and you think about the food all day long, right?
Certainly not known for their olive oil.
They're not known for their olive oil, but there is good food there. And what's awesome about this trip is they have found it. So we're going to experience all the good food, which is great. And then, of course, Sunday, the Bears game. That's a premium ticket. That's also going to come with some tailgating stuff, some food, some drinks. So I mean, really everything's catered. And what I love about this is every single day has something. It is a full trip. But that Friday and Saturday is when you get a little bit of personal time. So there's going to be like those pub crawls and fun things. But if there's anything on this list, when you go to q101.com/London, you can see the whole list of stuff. So you can decide if you want to go, what's on there. If there's anything that you're like, oh, but I've always wanted to see this, and it's not the perfect trip because of that, you will have a little bit of time on that Friday and Saturday to be able to squeeze that in there. So you don't have to be bummed out and think, I need to book it separate because this is my number one thing. No, you'll still have time for that, which we wanted to work into the trip because that's really important. Everyone's got their own personal things. You want to go take that Beatles, pose on the
Abbey Road. I want to walk across the street. I already did it once. I'll do it again.
You want to walk on that street,
Yeah.
The cars don't stop. They're very sick of it.
They don't like you in that neighborhood doing it, but we're doing it because we're Americans. It's our country now.
Hey, man, we love to invade. That's how we are.
We won that war.
Well, we're going to put a flag there and be like, well, we found it.
All right, so go to q101.com/London right now for all the information. But I'll tell you, as we talked about earlier when we put this trip together with our great friend Steve, that you could put some of these things together yourself and try to get there, but not like this. And the prices have risen dramatically. So this package stays the same price it is right now. So go check it out, q101.com/London for a deal to get to the Bears game in London with Brian and Kenzie and Q101.
Brian and Kenzie in the morning. And Chicago's alternative all day.
Q101.